Hello everybody, this is Hop to the Hippity Hop bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. And this is a game I just recently played. I thought it'd be a good example, or not a good example, a good game to just analyze and just see what kind of mistakes we make as players. And first of all, I'm going to be spawning up here as the blue Zerg, and this is going to be on Jungle Basin, and my opponent is HoseBeats. I almost said HoseBeats, but it's HoseBeats. And he's going to be spawning in the bottom area as the red Terran, so it's going to be a TVZ. I actually forgot if he was Terran. I wasn't really looking at the beginning of the game, but my opponent is going to be a Terran player. And what works really good against Terran players are Muta Bling. And I actually feel pretty comfortable on this map early expanding just because this expansion is so nicely guarded with the rocks here and with the small ramp, so it's pretty nice. Especially if any units try to move up, you can get a nice surround by having some roaches in position or whatnot. But let's jump into this game. I am going to be scouting out with my little drone here. My opponent will be walking off. Still just chatting a little bit. Let's take a look at the production tab. As you can see, I'm just producing drones, nothing too crazy. And right around 14 is when I'm going to get my expansion, so I'm just waiting right now. Kind of moving my drone a little early into position. Maybe around 200 minerals I should have moved him. But, yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I am going to be moving in my drone to do a little harass to his SCV. As you can see, I'm just going to be picking away at him. I think that's actually going to force him to stop. Yeah, he's going to be forced to... I'm actually delaying his bunker just by a little bit. Don't know if that really matters in the low-level play like this. But this drone is actually going to die if he's not careful. And I think I'm going to be going for, yep, a gas steal. I'm going to be going for a gas steal. Good old gas steal. Terran need that gas, and you know it's good to cripple them from getting that gas. So that is exactly what I'm going to go. Sorry, that is exactly what I'm going to be doing, delaying that gas. And just watch how many times I cancel. I think I actually did a pretty good job with this. I wouldn't say it's really good because you do lose a lot of minerals. I am now kind of scouting around with my drone. I got kind of scared. I thought a Marine was on the way to shoo away this drone or kill it. So, yeah, as you can see, I did get that 14 hatchery, as well as a 14 pool and a 13 extractor, I think. Yeah, but I just built up to 15 drones again. And I'm going to be getting that Overlord as well on 15 drones. Just because you do not want to supply block yourself. That is a very bad thing to do. And the Marine is now here to shoot away at this extractor. But I'm going to do my best to keep on extractoring, I guess. My opponent is going for a factory, as you can see here. So we might see some tanks, as well as some Hellions. Yes, Hellions. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just getting my queen now. Just going to be macroing up. And my thought process in this game was... oh, it's another Terran player. This map is actually not too bad for macro. I have my Overlord kind of dangerously placed here, so probably not the best place. Probably around this area would have been a little better. But my thought process in this game was, alright, I'm going against a Terran player. I'm going to go for something very solid, such as Lings and Mutas. But I think I actually did see the factory. I'm not sure. Maybe I did, I don't know. Oh, as you can see here, I'm doing another gas steal, so just non-stop gas steals, which is actually very good considering he's going for starports and factories. That's really going to cripple him in the gas, so I'm actually pretty happy I did that. I didn't even notice that he was going factory. I don't think I even know. Let's just take a look. Yeah, I don't even know he's going factory, but for some reason, oops, I pressed back. I pressed back. Why do I always do this? I don't understand why this happens. Oh, why I do this. Give me a second. Oh, it's my keyboard. Sorry, folks. My keyboard tends to go crazy. Alright. I'm back. Sorry about that. That was kind of stupid. Now my queen is out, and I'm actually opting to get a Roach Warren, just because I didn't see any early aggression from him. So, you know, I thought for a change, I should be the one doing some early aggression. And... you know, make an attack, and just make an attack in general. That's what I'm trying to say, yes. Looks like my opponent is going for a command center now, so a very early command center. One thing I can criticize about my opponent, I feel like he's doing too many things at once, without really having too much of an army. He only had one Marauder at this time and 2 Marines, so if I actually got a pretty good number of roaches, I could have broken this down really early. And it looks like that Hellion is now going to be out. And with the star put out, you can actually get a medevac or maybe a Viking, do some harass as well as drop harassing. There's just a couple things you could do. Oh, and my opponent doing something you should never do, supply blocking yourself. So yeah, and God, I'm just never stopping, am I? I didn't actually realize how much I was stealing this gas. Wow, I did that quite a few times. But you actually do need 3 Marines to out DPS this extractor building. As you can see, it's just like staying on 2 bars, barely going to 3, so you need 3 Marines. You should actually bring a couple over. I wasn't even noticing this. Apparently he's killing my Zerglings. Let's go back at my base and see what is cooking here. Looks like I'm getting my second gas as well as a few roaches, because I do realize that he doesn't really have too big of a force. He has Hellions, and the reason I say this is because I saw him get Hellions. And Hellions do require a bit of gas, and also the fact that he got a factory. So factories do take a lot of gas. Any units produced out of the factory is pretty gas heavy. Actually, Hellions don't cost any gas. I meant to say the fact that he got a factory. Yes, and finally he is going to be killing my Vespene Geyser guy. And now I realize, oh shoot, I need to move my Overlord. I do not want it to get picked off. And as you can see, I'm actually supply blocking myself as well. So very bad move on my part, being stupid, as well as not saturating this gas. I don't think I actually really need it right now. Yeah, I just need more minerals more than anything. Let's get the harvester count here. Yeah, I'm just a bit ahead of my opponent. If I knew I was safe, I really should have been droning up more than building an army. And as you can see on the production tab, I am actually building 8 drones. So there you go, I am actually droning up. I'm trying to get better at macro. That's one thing I always forget to do, build drones. That should be the one thing that's always flowing in my mind. The one thing I should always be constantly thinking about is drones. Drones, build more drones. Build more drones. Actually, in class today, I wrote that on my notes. I don't know why. I was in European studies, and teacher was just lecturing, and for some reason I write on my notepad that I should be building more drones. And oh god, Hellion drop coming in. Need to move the drones away. But this is actually very dangerous. Notice how the drones were all in a straight line. The reason I actually moved them away is because I wanted to put my roaches down, and it would have been okay. But if you actually micro those correctly, he could have gotten a lot of kills. Unfortunately, he did not have the pre-infernal igniter. I think that's how you say it. The pre-infernal pre-igniter. Or the infernal pre-igniter. There we go. He didn't have that, and if he had that, he could have just destroyed so many drones. Luckily, I am now soaring pretty far ahead of him. So that was pretty good. Looks like he is going to be moving in again for another attack. But notice, when you do these kinds of harasses and damage, and try to do damage to the economy, you also need to be producing out of your barracks and whatnot. And my opponent is kind of neglecting. He could be producing stuff out of his barracks. You can see his mineral count is getting up a little bit higher. But yeah, now he's kind of coming back to it as he's backing off. But that is one thing you should be doing. You should always be aware of when you're attacking. You should simultaneously be also building units, macroing up at base. There's so many things you have to be multitasking in order to play this game. But aside from the point, I am getting my missile upgrades for my roaches. And it looks like I'm going to be moving out with my roaches, maybe to do some damage, to peek up and see what my opponent has. But from the looks of it, I don't think I'll actually be able to bust this down, especially with siege tanks. Yeah, he does have the siege research, so he's gonna this isn't going to be a very good attack, especially if I try to break down the front wall. So I'm actually just going to be moving around to the back to attack the rocks in the back, and do some damage here. He has no defenses in the back, so that is actually a pretty good move on my part. Looks like my opponent is going to be doing some more drop Hellion play, but I do have a spine crawler here, so that's going to be able to fend it off pretty easily. I actually don't even micro my drones away, because if you move your drones away in a straight line, Hellions can take them out so easily. And on the Harvester tab, looks like I actually did lose quite a bit of drones, but I'm re-droning up again, so that that is going to cover for the drones I did lose. Hopefully I don't lose another one. I think I don't lose another one. Yeah, these drones are really low though. Oh, and he could get so many, so I'm actually trying to micro them away. He does get one of them, but my spine crawler here is going to be able to clean up this Hellion, so I should be okay. Roaches are standing around here doing nothing when they should be attacking this rock. But my opponent actually does wisely build a supply depot here to see that I am actually breaking down those rocks. So now I am moving in. Yeah, now I am moving in. I'm going to be taking down those rocks. I don't know if my opponent actually does spot this. Let's take a look here. I just player cam. Yeah, he's actually not aware that I'm taking down his rocks. Oh, now he does see. So he's actually going to be opting to bring his whole army to the front. But this is a lot of roaches, and if he doesn't siege his tanks, they're going to be extremely vulnerable, and especially since the rocks are down. And he's not sieging his tanks, so I'm just going to go in and I'm going to pick him off really easily. As you can see, I'm going to be focusing down the tanks. There we go. One focus. The second one isn't sieging. I'm going to be focusing that one down. There was actually kind of a misclick here. I tried to click up, but it wouldn't let me go up, so I'm just I was trying to click around. But that was a little unfortunate. He's going to need to lift off. Yep. And my roaches are going to be in his base doing a little bit of damage, as well as rallying zerglings to the front of his base. So I'm going to be trying to attack and take out this bunker, so my zerglings can actually come up and do some damage as well. So now I'm moving in, attacking the tank before it sieges. So it is so crucial to siege your tanks before the roaches come. Maybe he should have had him actually had his tank siege back here, but my opponent does just opt to leave the game. And it just goes to show that you should be macroing even while doing harassing and whatnot. It's very important. I actually didn't even get mutas that whole game. All I had to do was attack with roaches, so it was a very quick and easy game. But one thing you should note is never slip on the macro. That is one thing you should never do. Getting a little high on the minerals there, because I did not expect him to leave the game that fast. But as you can see, my opponent does have pretty high minerals. He could actually maybe build another barracks and produce out of that. But yeah, that just goes to show you shouldn't slip up on macro. You should always be building, constantly building drones and workers. As you can see now, my harvester count at the end of the game was pretty high. Probably could have been higher. I could have probably grabbed another base as well. In fact, around this time is when I should have been grabbing the third base. And I just wanted to show it to you guys. So thanks guys, this is going to be Hop StarCraft, and I'm going to be hopping off.